To tell us about Indus, the Indian network for dynamical and unified solar.
Okay, so for the next couple of minutes, I'm not Chitra, if she is not, I'm sure we are Team Indus, and we have a very good number of representation in the audience as well. I think, okay, no, Sani is radio loud, I am audio loud, fine. Right? You can hear me, right? Okay. So, so Indus is, as we are saying, it's a hamlet of heliophiles. It was not very long ago, it was 2023. You can hear me, right?
Why?
So it was only in 2023 when a young Indian solar physics researcher, she was struggling in acquiring some new software skills when she was sailing from one base to another. She was sailing basically from Helsinki to NASA Goddard, and she was trying to get hands on some software, and she was basically struggling. And that's how the idea sparked. How about having one WhatsApp group for exchanging such kind of resources and some for knowledge transfer? And that's when the WhatsApp group came up, initially consisting of 10 members, and that's when the seed of Indus was planted, and which will now share the story how you grew over the time of 6 months, and over to you, Vanshu.
So these are the people who are present here, some of them. Who do solar physics, and they are at ASI, so we take this picture just this afternoon to show. So Indus stands for Indian Network for Dynamical and Unified Solar Physicists. Dynamical, we are a professional body, but that's what we call us. We are young PhDs and postdocs who are doing research in solar physics, solar and heliophysics. And this is the logo of Indus, and it's elongated a bit, so it's circle. Believe me, it's not that big. So the name Indus came from, we had a lot of back and forth about Indus's name, because should it be something else? For example, we came up with something called spicy in the beginning, but finally we had a vote and we decided on Indus because it represents Indian history as well as it represents us, dynamical youth solar physicists in India. The logo represents Indian tricolor, so captures the essence of India, as well as this also shows the sun in different wavelengths, and it also shows different layers and features on the sun. So we are very happy with the design. We have a very good creative team who comes up with all the funky and fancy stuff for us. The idea behind Indus is to have a network of young Indian solar physicists, both working in India as well as abroad, and so that we can also have collaboration within us and we know about each other, because earlier I only maybe knew 50 people, now I know 215 Indus members, and the idea is not only to help people professionally but also personally.
Okay, we are spread across the globe, as you can see. Indus members are there from across 4 continents across the globe and 21 countries. And just let me remind you, the size of the circle, they're basically proportional to log of number of members residing in that country. Because unless otherwise, Australia was having very tiny circle and India was having very large circle. So we have log scale. And okay, moving on to the next slide.
So Indus is not very old. It's not even 6 months old now. The 6-month birthday will be on 15th Feb. So we started talking about this in June last year, 15th June last year, and we thought that why not collect all the Indian solar physicists together and then make a group, not only a WhatsApp group but also a community who are there for each other for anything needed. So in the beginning you can see the rapid growth, so first 2 months, and now we have around 215 members, and it is kind of saturated now because we feel that most of the Indian young solar physicists are in Indus.
No offense, we will be inclusive and we will be including senior members as well, because their experience is of most importance to us. And the plot, this is which I learned while producing some nice graphics for this presentation. This is called upset plot. But really the plot is not that much upsetting, because you can see we have various spectrum of expertise with Indus members. we do instrumentation softwares and methods. We have theory people, we have modeling and simulation folks, and we have also folks who are doing observation. And these kind of connectivities, they show that how many people are doing at the conjunction of theory and modeling, and this kind of connectivity, this shows how many people are doing instrumentation as well as observation, and we also see how many among them are female and how many among them are male. So we also ensure that gender equity is there in our community.
So that was a brief umbrella where our Indus member work, but this is a very detailed plot. I hope this is visible. So we have the least member working in heliosismology should grow in years, and most of the people work on transient. So it's not that only, so one person can work on many things. So for example, I work on radiophysics as well as I work on transient. So that is how it is marked. And we have, so this is a very good distribution here. As also we have a representative for each and every group who, if you need any help or if you are starting a new field, for example, someone who's starting PhD and they want to start spectroscopy, we have a young expert designated for it. You can directly contact them and they will help you get started with.
And the plot also has an implication where the Indian community of young solar physicists, they are heading towards. So what is that most promising fields in heliophysics research? And also gauging the competition as well, whether to choose helioseismology or something else. Okay, again this is circle.
Okay. So as Chitradeep has already mentioned, we have a very good representation of both the genders. So we have, so the inner circle is PhDs, postdoc, and we also have scientific staff, that means engineers and research scientists. So we have 64% of PhDs and 26% of postdocs and 10% scientific staff. And the interesting trend here is it's almost equally divided, 58 and 42% male and female, and the same goes for postdoc, 55 and 45. So, and it's very good for staffs as well.
And what about our distribution across the globe? Here, among the 64% of PhDs, we have 73% of PhDs doing their research in India, while 27% are set abroad. And among the postdocs, we have 76% who are doing research abroad, and we have 24% of the postdocs who are continuing their research in India. Kind of, if you're seeing that 73% of Indian PhD students reduced to 24% of Indian postdocs, kind of having an implication that they're having a brain drain and they're going abroad to have necessary expertise, and they're trying to get back and enrich the Indian solar physics community and getting back to them. So whether it's a brain drain or kind of a game of knowledge gain, that's up to you. But the future will tell the story.
So we also had a statistics of how many Indus members are in the universities and centers, because that's important. So this includes both Indian universities and foreign universities. So we have around 30% of Indus members working at universities and around 70% working at centers or institutes like IIA or ISRO Center.
And the working groups, they're the pillars of whatever activities are going on in Indus. And we have several working groups, and these are for the sustenance of the activities that we have been doing in the last 6 months and hopefully for many coming years. So website team is there, social media team is there, science, resource, outreach team is there. We have bi-monthly newsletter that come up twice every month, one in the first of the month and another is on the 15th of every month. And we also have started buddy scheme, and so many new working groups that are coming up, like podcasting. We're going to have one podcasting as well. And if you look at this male and female representation, which is kind of balanced in all of the working groups as well. And if you just look at how these members are distributed in India and abroad, you can see we have a good number of representation from India and abroad as well. Thanks. This is a nice cartoon, how we work.
You should be doing it.
Okay, so this nice cartoon was made by Kelly, and you see we have several working group members scattered around different time zones, EST, CET, NST, CST, and so on. And this is a typical conversation that go on every month while we are producing newsletters. Like this is Anshu, how's the edition of newsletter coming on? And this is someone else like Ritesh, who is sitting at Boulder, and she is working on the graphics and all these formatting things. So it's a funny thing that get the
So
publications.
Indus is, we call ourselves a professional community. So we also have a way that all the Indus members tell us how many publications they had every month, and then we publish it in our newsletter. So this is only for past 5 months, and these publications are either led or the Indus members are co-author. There are 39 publications which were reported by Indus members in last 5 months. So this chart here is generated by ADS. So if someone's name is like my Helsinki group's name is big, that does not mean that we only publish it, or Debian group's name is big, that does not mean that. So it just means how many, what is our research connection, and these word map very nicely shows us what is the central theme for our research and the sun, corona, and study.
If you just scan this QR code, you will land up in our NASA ADS library, which is up here. And this is kind of distribution we have, how many number of female researchers and male researchers they have published in the past 5 months from Indus. Moving on to this Indus newsletter, can you
You should, you.
please?
So newsletter is something we are really proud of. We produce 2 newsletters every month, long and short. The long one comes on 1st of every month, and short one comes in middle of the month. We have produced 7 newsletters in past 6 months, and so these are the contents of the newsletter, which we feature a young PhD researcher, and we take do their interview. We report all the new publications, and we bring the scientific publications in layman term as nuggets in our newsletter. And we also have special articles and special issue. For example, when Aditya was launched, we had an Aditya special issue. When the annular solar eclipse in US happened, we had a solar eclipse special issue. And we also have jobs updates, and it's not only about PhDs and postdocs, but it's also about industry jobs, so that we should know from the beginning that not academia is not the only option. And then we have multiple other things, and we have a creative corner where Indus members show their creativity.
Right. We also hold monthly Indus seminar series, and you can see if there is one female candidate in the nth month, we should ensure that there is a male candidate in the N plus first month, and so on. And it holds at the end of every month. Okay. And we have a very good social media present all across Twitter, Facebook, and almost all of the social media platforms. If you just scan this QR code, we'll get to have all these social media links. And this is how we represented Indus at ASI2024. We had 69 posters, we had 14 oral presentations. That's a very good number, we believe. And yeah, this is the poster that we're having there in the outreach section. And okay, there should be one movie, I guess. Okay, forget about that.
So this movie should, for a second play. So this was a list of all the people escape, and we just want to shoot. Oh, it's a PDF, it won't play. So the idea was to show you there are 46 people working behind 12 working groups in Indus. So it's not just, since we are representing Indus doesn't mean we are the only people working. So all the people you see here in Indus Research and all this and this batch are from Indus, and they work towards developing Indus's website, newsletter, outreach, social media, everything.
So what's next? We plan to have our financial independence, of course. We are not registered body, so we should get registered in the coming days. And thanks to Professor Dipankar Banerjee for the shout out during this presidential lecture, and thanks to Yendu during the last QEC session, we got attention. Thanks for this and for providing this platform of showcasing what we are doing as a part of Indus. And I hope we're kind of done.
Just the creative section was left. We will leave it open and you can have a look. So
you can have a sneak peek from these brochures. Please feel free to collect it here.
Please pass it
Yeah,
back.
we're happy to take questions if you're having one.
Okay, so let's from the ASI, just a quick question and then we'll wrap up. Yes.
Has the research productivity of the Indian solar physics community gone down in the last 6 months?
It doesn't look like that. We have 40 papers.
But serious question. I miss the element of how this is going to help in terms of research for each other. Is there a research collaboration element? Somebody is stuck somewhere, that element was missing, although that was in the motivation. Right? What are we going to do about that?
So we are having regular conversation among the members, what should be done, and of course we are having this beyond L1 meeting. So I think young Indian solar physicists, they play an important role. What should be the direction of young Indian solar physics community, and what are the activities that have to be taken up. So of course,
Chitri, I will also want to add something. So we regularly get mail and messages that I need help with, say, NRH imaging, and we have designated people in the research field we have shown, and those people make sure that they reply and they connect. So I think some people here can vouch for us that we have been doing it for the past 6 months.
So maybe one last thing and then we wrap. Okay, yes, please.
Yeah, I think absolutely fantastic stuff. Considering Dipankar said that the future of astronomy is very bright, maybe based on your statistics, you can also make a projection for the number of jobs needed and so on in the coming months, and that's very useful for the direct of numbers.
So how to
Okay,
get members? How to become a member?
You have to be a solar physicist and you have to be enrolled in a PhD or doing a postdoc.
Okay, so maybe let's stop the session here. This has been really exciting and it's very good to see the kind of attendance that we get for this education and outreach sessions. We are hoping to move on to